room at 920 West Santa Rosa Avenue, Ed Couch, Texas. As we begin, I would like to remind everyone that this meeting is being conducted in accordance to the Texas Open Meetings Act. Roll call.
Norma Peña.
Here.
Fernando Flores Jr. Ashley Vasquez.
Here.
Juan Jose Ibarra.
Here.
Dr. Ricardo A. Ochoa.
Here.
Cynthia Fatuma.
Here.
And Rolando Lozano.
Let the record reflect that a quorum is present. With a quorum established, we will now begin with the Pledge of Allegiance and prayer.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Leading us for the pledge this evening, we have Jordan Gonzalez, an ambitious and driven 8th grade student at Carlos Truan Junior High. His eyes are firmly set to join Texas A&M School of Law. He aims to earn a bachelor's degree in physics, which will serve him as the perfect foundation for his dream of becoming a defense attorney. Thanks to his math teacher, Ms. Hinojosa, who pushes him to aim higher and take risks with supportive coaches, he has explored wrestling. Go for the gold means to always do your best, strive for excellence, and aim higher than ever before. This year, Jordan has honed his leadership skills as both the Student Council President and the National Honor Society President, two roles that require commitment and a passion for making a difference. Jordan is supported every step of the way by his amazing parents, Cristina Garcia and Arturo Gonzalez Jr., who encourage his dreams and ambitions. With his leadership and determination, there is no doubt that Jordan Gonzalez is destined for great things. Jordan, we're ready for you to lead us with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas pledge. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Great, great job. A big round of applause for Jordan.
We're going to have a picture with Jordan? Or?
Yes.
I guess before we get going, let's do the invocation and then we'll go with the first. So Jordan, can you hang out for a little bit? Ms. Rocha?
Yes, of course. We can bow our heads, please. Heavenly Father, as we begin this meeting tonight, Heavenly Father, we're just so grateful that we're surrounded by so many amazing students that are going to be honored tonight. And we also thank our learners for that wonderful presentation that they did. And Heavenly Father, we thank you, Heavenly Father, and we give you all the praise and glory that you truly deserve. Tonight, we just ask that you give Dr. Benavides and our board of trustees all the wisdom and knowledge that they need as they move forward and make it and help us have greatness. Heavenly Father, bless everybody together here in your mighty and precious name. We once again bless all the students and their staff and all of them. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Just for the record, we're going to have some recognitions. A, recognition of Ed Couch Mariachi Juvenil Azteca. Received Division I for all the groups that participated at UIL. B, recognition of Gold Brigade for winning the sweepstakes at the RGVDE competition on January 23rd, 2025 for their hip hop and import dance. C, recognition of the Golden Guard for receiving 4th place at the Texas Educators Color Guard Association. D, Ed Couch ISD counselors from E High School, Carlos F. Truan Junior High, David Ibarra Middle School, LBJ Elementary, RCR Elementary, Santiago Garcia Elementary, and JRG Early Childhood received the highest honors in earning their very first Counselor Reinforcing Excellence for Students in Texas Award. Let's go down there and, yep. Picture time, Cindy.
Our first presentation is going to be Jordan. So, Mr.
Is your dad right here? I know your dad. Victor and Mariachis. Right here.
We'd like to call on our Mariachi director, Mr. Marcos Garcia, to say a few words and recognize this wonderful student.
On behalf of the Ed Couch Elsa Mariachi, my name is Marcos Garcia, the director of the entire district Mariachi. I want to recognize Ms. Salas Garcia, who is the director of this wonderful group, Truan. So I'm going to have her come up and say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. So the students that you see before you have dedicated a lot of time and a lot of practice and have spent countless hours doing these assignments and creating this culture of love and community there at the junior high and accepting the love of mariachi in their hearts and passion as well. So without further ado, I'd like to present to you the very first groups in UIL history for middle school, because middle school UIL was not a thing until this year. So Ed Couch Elsa was the only city in the valley to take not only one, but two UIL ensembles, a non-varsity and a varsity. Now, to add to that, taking both groups was a lot of work. And it was work that they were willing to accept, a lot of laughing, a lot of joking, and a lot of tears, and a lot of work. But they made it through, and both groups received superior ratings, straight ones. And then to add to this too, as of last night, we had middle school region, and Ed Couch Elsa, junior high, dominated. We took 13 spots out of, I think, 22? We took 13 spots, right? Raise your hand if you made it for region. I would like to thank not only Mr. Garcia for being the head director, but also being a great mentor to both Mr. Tovar and myself, Dr. Canales for being an amazing supporter in administration, our board of trustees, our superintendent for doing everything possible to make sure that this mariachi program flourishes as best as it can be and represent Ed Couch Elsa as it should be. Thank you.
Everybody over here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And one more.
Awesome, congratulations.
Parents that were able to join us, would you please stand? Because without your support, this would not be possible. Please stand and be recognized. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Our next recognition will be
Yes,
recognition
I
of the Gold Brigade.
Oh, is it varsity?
Make sure no one's covering your face, okay, so that you come out in the picture.
Once again, Board of Trustees, administration, parents, and all the supporting community. This is the Ed Couch Elsa High School Mariachi. So we did take 2 groups as well. So I think we're the only crazy ones in the valley to take 4 groups. But we did receive straight Division 1s with the JV, straight Division 1s with the varsity, and the varsity was able to qualify as the varsity from Ed Couch Elsa to go to the state contest that will happen, as a matter of fact, in a couple of days. So we'll be traveling to Seguin, San Antonio area to go and hopefully bring back more straight ones for the superior rating at the state level. So once again, we want to thank you for all the support. This is the high school level. It could not be possible without my co-directors, Mrs. Salas Garcia, Mr. Tovar, and of course our support staff, Mr. Dr. Canales, Merari, our wonderful secretary, and everybody who makes this happen. So thank you, board, for the continuous support over these 18 years that I've been here. And it seems to be a consistent support all the way through. So we thank you for everything. Well, define championships. No, wait. We're trying to make it a record this year. We are the only school left in UIL history. There's been UIL for the high school level 9 years. This will be the 10th year. We're the last school left of the list that has gone every single year with straight ones, superior ratings, and has received at least 1 medal every single. They give outstanding medals at the state level. So we're going for that title to continue that streak. But we're the last school in the state of Texas to do that. And so we're hoping that we bring back at least 1 medal, right, guys? At least 1. But out of those 9 years, we've received medals for everybody, 6 out of the 9 years. So we've got a pretty good streak going, and we're hoping to do that. So we're 3-time state title, state champions, and 2-time national champions along the way. But we're going for that precious UIL gold in a couple of days. So thank you for the support. All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, and 1 more. Ready? 1, 2, and...
Any parents in the audience, if you're here to support your students, please stand and be recognized. Our next group is the Gold Brigade.
Hello. Hello, everyone. So I was just made aware that I had to make a speech like 30 seconds ago, so we're going to give it my best shot. Very good. Yeah, so we're going to give it my best shot today. So this is the Gold Brigade dance team. I've been the director for 2 years already. I'm extremely proud of these young ladies. Through trials and adversity and obstacles and injuries, they pulled through all of these awards. Today they are being recognized for getting straight ones at TDEA, which is their 2nd year attending, I believe. And then they competed at ADTS, American Dance Team. They got the sweepstakes, they got their Judges Award and the Best in Class runner-up. So they are pulling through, getting awarded, and we're just trying to, stay uninjured. And thank you for the board as well. You've all have supported us through trials and tribulations and, changes and everything. So we thank you very much.
Congratulations.
All right, so this is the Golden Guard Color Guard. We've been in existence since marching band has been around. They competed at the Texas Educational Color Guard Association, also known as TECA. We were in a 3-year hiatus until this year we were able to compete, and they pulled out their 4th place win out of 20, I believe. So they did a tremendous job this year. We actually have another competition coming up in March 22nd, and then state competition April 12th. So they are, pulling through. They are, making waves in the color guard community, as we say. So again, I am extremely proud of these young ladies as well for pulling through all of these obstacles that we've been through for the past couple of years, grades and attendance, and it's been a whirlwind. So again, thank you, school board, for your continued support with our teams.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Dr. Benavides. Thank you to the board for all your support. Thank you to the administrators, the principals, the assistant principals, for being so supportive. This was the very first year in the history of EdCal Chelsea for our counselors to receive this award. So at this time, I do want to congratulate the following campuses for the great accomplishment, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. So we did go last month to Galveston to receive the CREST Award. 7 out of our 8 campuses received it, and the only reason that 1 did not receive it was because we didn't have a counselor at the time. She's an amazing counselor at JFK, so I know next year she's going to be among us, and we will hit 8 to 8. So what is the CREST Award? So it is truly a group of elite counselors across the state of Texas that for the very first time our district received what is called the CREST Award, which is the Counselors Reinforcement Excellence for Students in Texas Award, which is short for CREST, for counseling excellence. CREST is a continuous improvement documents the school counseling program that can be used to demonstrate effective communication and a commitment to obtaining results in our district. Our district counselors have demonstrated monumental success in continuously improving their respective campus programs by leadership, counseling engagement, documenting their vital roles in students' lives, academic, personal, social, and career development. I do want to brag, because it's in order. I did ask the presenters, and just so you know, it's TCA, which is the Texas Counselors Association. They're literally the ones that set the standards for the Texas Education Agency. I did ask one of the organizers and was told that there was approximately 1,000 applications. Among the winners in the region, that was EdCal Chelsea that got 7 out of the 7 applications. McAllen got all of theirs in. Every one of their schools got it. And we were in the prestigious category with schools like Sherryland ISD. They didn't get them all. Westlaco ISD, they didn't either. And Mission ISD, as well as Harlingen. So there were literally hundreds of applications, and for the first year and that we applied for the first time in history. I get emotional because they're amazing. We won. So they won. So I'd like to start first with our high school. Thank you, Mrs. Ramos. She is the lead, and all of y'all are astronomical. Thank you. I love you. So we want to start with our lead counselor, Kathy Lara. Miss Erica Tanguma. Marta Corpus, Abdeas Gomez, and Miss Stephanie Leos. At CFT at Truan Elementary, we have Florinda Elizondo, Miss Nikki Garcia, that unfortunately could not be with us. At David Ibarra, our one and only Cindy Briseño. At JRG, Gloria Arizmendis. At RCR, my schoolmate, B. Ortiz. At Garcia Elementary, Brenda Martinez. At LBJ, Carmen Reina. And at JFK, our very own Jessica Cardena. I do want to add that each one of these counselors had to submit their own application. So they stand on their own merit. So it is extremely an honorable moment, and it's so fitting because this is also Counselors Appreciation Month. So thank you again. They got treated to a wonderful dinner and dancing afterwards. And I promise you, all 8 will be standing before you next year. Thank you again, Board, Dr. Benavides. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for all your efforts and all you do for our students. Thank you. Ms. Danielle Gaitan couldn't be with us. I hope you're watching. She's amazing. She helped put all these applications together. King, I know you're watching. I love you, King. Thank you.
Before we proceed, just a very special thank you to Dr. Sandy, because I know she pushes hard, but the real benefactors are our kids. So thank you so much for your work with the counselors and our students. We appreciate it tremendously.
Next item on the agenda is superintendent's report.
For the superintendent's report, we're going to move item E to the front, the update on the Honeycomb project. So I'm going to call on Dr. Sandy Ochoa to do the presentation for her part, and then we'll continue with the rest of the superintendent's report.
Thank you. You guys are going to get tired of hearing from me. I promise I'll be brief. Thank you so much. Again, thank you, board, for this great opportunity. Thank you, Dr. Benavides. In, I want to say July, Dr. Benavides, or maybe June, I approached Dr. Benavides and at the time Dr. Rocha about the closet, about the need for our students to have the basic needs of clothing and basic resources, simple things like paper toilet, right, that they needed in their homes, toiletries and that nature. So I asked for a space, any space, because I knew that we had amazing counselors and amazing teachers, and I wanted to do a collaboration for our district to not only help our kids but help our community. And hence here we are with the district closet, which we named the Honeycomb Closet, a Hive Haven. So again, we started with a dream, and I'd like to tell you where we are. We started it in August, asking for people to donate. It's been pure donations. I would like to give you some demographics. So we currently have, as of February 13th, we had an enrollment of 4,347 students. Those that are identified as economically disadvantaged in need are 4,014. So we only have 333 students in our district that are not economically disadvantaged. So this is powerful, the work that our counselors and social workers and the team in this community. Homeless, we have 61 students identified, and I am profoundly proud to say that our social workers, which were not able to be here today but will be recognized when it's Social Worker Month, have distributed or have served a total of 1,693 students since we opened the closet in August.
Amazing.
So that's significant. So I wanted to just show you some pictures. The Honeycomb Closet is found at the DAP, or Alternative Center. I actually graduated from there, so that should tell you about the building. So this is a before picture, part of it. It had already been painted, but as you can see, it's an empty canvas. And then thanks to the hard work and support of Ms. Lidia Gonzalez and Mr. Tanguma and the kids, they started building us some shelves, places to hang things. And this is where we're at right now with the closet. I want to thank, again, our community. I want to thank the Rotary Club. I want to thank, and I can't remember the name of the organization, but they provide sanitary supplies for girls that we were able to pass out to the girls. And I don't know if it's not a good view, but you can see that we're trying to meet every basic need that keeps kids from coming to school. So there are some projects that we have that we need the community support that I would like to show and highlight. So breaking barriers is the first one. So there you see, in that picture you can see some of the basic supplies that I was talking about that we provide kids. So the case managers do collaborate with the campuses to identify students and families in needs, and like I said, we have over 1,600, and things like supplies. So these are just some of the samples. Thank you to Board Member Vasquez. She donated a lot of this, cool clothes, so thank you for that. And so that's breaking the barriers. And one of the things that we want to also do is incentivize. So put a voucher system in place for students that have behavior or attendance issues. And this is basically a research-based positive reinforcement methodology. I can tell you that we've been doing this with the kids at the Alternative Placement Center, and they help us tremendously to organize stuff, and part of that is you got to be passing, you can't have any discipline issues, you've got to be respectful, and you get to get a voucher and you get to go pick out some cool stuff there. So the other, oops. Sorry about that. That's okay. So again, meeting the needs of at-risk students, incentivizing, and then the next part, the next slide please, is the rent it, rock it, and return it. We want to make sure that every student in Ed Cal Chelsea has the ability to go to prom. to experience prom. I was one of those that I had to borrow in order to attend prom. So this is a real passion for me. So what are we looking at here? And these are actual dresses that we have that were donated by Miss Ashley Vasquez. Dr. Ochoa pitched in a little bit there to also buy some dresses. So, and the board,
And the
of course,
community.
and the community also. People have been bringing in dresses as well. So these are actual dresses that are there. And so we're looking at prom dresses, suits. We're also looking at business and college attire for when they have to go to interviews. And our goal here is that they use it, then we do a collaboration with local cleaners so that then we can reuse them for the following year. Then Project Play. Access to sports equipment and attire that will provide the equity for students that cannot afford the cleats, that cannot afford the basic stuff like the tennies, the shorts. Kids outgrow stuff and others need it, right? And so this is going to be another project that will get, as you saw, the numbers for our economically disadvantaged students, right? Get students the access to become part of extracurricular activities and find a home outside of the classroom. And so skill building, this one's one of my favorite. Thank you to Ms. Flores and to Virgil. Right now what's happening when our amazing community brings in clothes, it is sent to the students that are champs in the CHAMPS program, which is a life skills unit at the high school, and they actually wash the clothes. And then our case managers and our students at Sales Center actually help to put it together and organize it, hang it up by sizes and whatnot. But the goal here essentially is for these students to do that as well. So this, why do we want them to do that? Because they're going to learn valuable skills like sorting, they're already washing, folding, and pricing merchandise. We also want to make sure that we offer the community hours for students and organizations that are mandated community service. We've got National Honor Society, Student Council, court mandated volunteer hours. So this can be the place where all of that happens for the common good of serving our own students. And then what is the end goal? The end goal is to open an actual thrift shop and have it categorized. Again, always keeping the focus of what the ones that need the stuff, that meet the criteria, will get it free. But we want to be able to open it up to the community for anyone that's interested in vintage clothes, for example. And they can come in and at a fraction of the cost of what they would buy even at a garage sale, they can pay for it. But the beauty of it is that our kids in the CHAMPS program would be the ones running it. Our kids that need the community hours would be the ones running it. And the goal of that would be so that we can keep replenishing the supplies, like the toothbrush, toothpaste, toilet paper, things of that nature, so that we can continue to support our family. And of course, we would want to have a coffee shop there too. So this is what we're doing. I want to thank again our case managers, Dr. Benavides, for giving us the space, our board for indulging my continuous promotion of this, but it is invaluable. One of the things that Board President Ibarra suggested to me is that we gamify, I don't know what that stuff is.
Okay, gamification, yeah.
Yeah, and it's amazing. Kids are always on their phone, so making that part of this, I'll be in talks with Mr. Torres because that's above my understanding, but it's a great idea and it's something that we're going to look at also. We're going to take this to a new level. So thank you again, Board, Dr. Benavides.
Quick little insert there. I know it's called Rent at Rocket, but the kids won't be renting it for any money, right? Everything is completely
free.
Yeah.
The rented is you're just going to sign out and just say you're going to bring it back. It's at no cost. The same thing with the shoes, the suits. Happily, just donate right on the corner. So no, it will be at no cost. The end goal will eventually be to have a thrift store for the community to come in, and that'll be a separate section, but it'll be to just replenish. But anything that is for our kids will be free, 100%.
If I may, I never heard of this before, and I was just asking her, did you know this? And she said no too. So it's two of us that didn't know. If we have anything that we want to donate, how do we get it to you all? To who do we address ourselves to?
So it is at the alternative center, the sales center, where the old warehouse used to be. That other-
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
There. And the case manager, Alex, amazing Alex.
So we
is
show
there.
them whatever we bring, you just,
Yes, sir.
okay. Thank you.
They also accept cash donations.
I knew you were gonna say it.
One more thing, Dr. Ochoa. So, and I know I've been working hand in hand with you on a lot of these. A lot of these projects are new. We just developed Project Play maybe like last week, and we already have about a good amount of cleats and all that. And I know Coach Cardenas is going to work with me on that too. And I feel. How would, do you think that the space is big enough? Would you want a bigger space? What do you feel as far as the size of?
So again, very grateful for the space, right? Look at where it got us, look at how many students we've already served, but we do really need a bigger space. I mean, if you're asking for a wish list, we need a bigger space, something more conducive, more accessible to the community to come and drop off, and so we can put all these different designated areas so that, when you go to, HEB, right, everything is in its aisle, kind of the same thing, and making it conducive for the kids. Dr. Canales is going to take me a bit of shopping to buy furniture. We want to put mirrors and furniture. We want to make it look like a boutique. So space would be.
Yeah. Our goal for this year for prom is 200 dresses donated.
When is prom?
April? May? It changes every year. I don't even know.
Ashley, and this is going to donate
I
some stuff.
have like a lot of dresses that have been in my closet, and I'm like, they still have tags and things. I'm like, I'm gonna bring them.
Thank you.
Make sure you get her number.
Yes.
And we'll also maybe, I'm sorry, I get excited about all these projects going on. But maybe we can work on different drop-off, designated drop-off areas. So maybe you don't have to necessarily go to the cell. We can maybe do one at the CTE building or one so on, so on. So we can kind of, okay.
And there, people have been dropping off here also with Dr. Garza here in central office, so that can also, you can drop them off here, and he has collected some to take over
That's
there.
a really good idea. What we can do is we can post it, and we can actually make every campus a drop-off, and the case manager designates there and then transfer.
Dr.
Allow,
Ochoa,
if you'll be at every campus, you can do a drop-off there.
Dr. Ochoa, what about local businesses, drop-offs there?
We can look at that too, yes, of course, thank you. Oh yeah, Dr. Ochoa, you drop off there.
Just saying. I volunteer him.
Very good. Any other questions?
When was prom?
They haven't finalized it, they believe it's gonna be in April. April or beginning of May.
Did you mention that the end result is for it to be a vintage shop or a thrift shop?
Yes.
Do you plan on keeping
I
the?
also envision having washers there so that we can incentivize parents to come to group meetings who I know have to go to the laundromats. I'm not trying to take away business from them, but incentivize them, do a little bit of washing while you do a little bit of, getting information on how to improve things like the reading skills or behavioral skills, so.
Do you still plan on keeping the self-care items if it's going to transition into
Yes.
thrift shop?
Yes, the goal with that would be to continue giving them out for free, but then upping the ante. For example, if you come in and you do like a 30-minute, education course on, again, like reading or, mental health, coping skills, studying strategies, we would give them little coupons and they can buy stuff for free.
But you would not incentivize the self-care items, right? The sanitary napkins and things like that?
No. The first thing would be you need it, you get it. But I would like to be able to bring in like, hey, on this day, this month, if you come in, you're going to, you come in for a 30-minute session on coping skills or testing strategies. You'll get coupons to get this stuff.
Conflict resolution, personal finance, all kinds of stuff. Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, I think like you said, maybe with a bigger, because I've been to the Honeycomb many times, and I do feel it is kind of small for all the projects we want to do with it. And I think if a end result is, community style thrift shop, and I know the thrift shop was also, we said, even for any kind of student that maybe has perfect attendance, here's some, little vouchers, and you can go shop for free. Because the vintage store itself would be like high-end streetwear, like all the.
And that was a logic about like the vintage stuff, because I mean, I'm ancient and my daughter's like wearing stuff that I wore in the 80s. I'm like, what's happening? So that's the stuff that they like. So it's got to be unique stuff because,
Yeah, but I would think like a.
And can be worn and meets the dress code.
But with the space, they can kind of categorize these items, so people don't get confused on.
And that's what we're missing right now.
Yeah, I agree.
It's space to categorize.
Outstanding.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so
Super
much.
appreciative.
Next item on, thank you, Dr. Sandy. Next item on the superintendent's report is the truancy court update. Mrs. Rocha? Well, first the enrollment. I know you're going to do enrollment and attendance, and then the truancy.
Thank you so much. Hey, that was awesome. And then just for your information, I received a call today from St. Teresa. There's a family that wants to donate a lot of things, so I'm going to get you that information. But anyway, we'll start with attendance and enrollment. This is next, the 6 weeks, the end of the 6 weeks is this week. So I couldn't present that, but I thought last week, which was week 22, just to give you a little idea of where we are right now. And if you can see right here, we have the enrollment by campus. And last year and this year, and the difference in the information, and I know that it's a long meeting, but you can see the different campuses there, and what the enrollment is compared to last year. And this year, we've got 4335 students compared to last year, 4424, difference of 89. So we're working with that. I think yesterday we got a transfer student from one of the other ones to come over, so we're trying to recruit more students. Now, the next page, if I can call your attention, that is the attendance, which is very, very good. If you recall, this 6 weeks was very hard because at the beginning of the semester was cold, the weather was real bad, and then we've got a lot of kids that have been absent. But needless to say, we always try to avoid the red little lines up there. We only have 3 campuses that were a little the difference because, like I mentioned, there's a lot of buildings going on, and very proud to say that we're a little bit, we don't want to lose attendance with that ADA money. We have 92.25% this 6 weeks so far compared to last year. This time 91.86. So we have a lot there. Okay? Any questions? Now I do want to show we did recognize the students. We always want to recognize students that are doing well, that are coming to school. The principals do an amazing job of posting in their bulletin who got the best sport, the best attendance. They took their kids to Peter Piper Pizza. They took them all over. And what we want to do is do I always give you pictures as a memory of that building history in that school. And right now, so you can go ahead and complete. I know that the pictures, I put in front of you the pictures of the trains that we get. This is what every school has one each semester, and they have them in front of their school. And right now, I want to thank Ms. Hernandez and Yaviaco that left me to can you bring them over so I can show them? And I'm probably put them there because all the presentations that we had there were amazing. But if you can tell, this is, and we recognize all the time giving JRG Head Start, as you can see right here. And then those are the students that have perfect attendance. They had 5 students that have perfect attendance, and very hard for the little ones to bring them to school. So this is, and then the next one that we have there, this is with their JRG. And they had 31 students that took a video. There was one that has a bullet tie. I don't know if they were celebrating their Valentine's with the basement, and so Joe and I crashed their party by going to go take their picture. But we're very proud, and they did practice display for every parent can see, and we thank because we want to take time to recognize the parents that they help us in what they do. And the next picture is Garcia Elementary, and very proud to say that they had 101 students, and that was in their cafeteria. You could tell they were all excited, and they all got a t-shirt, and they loved. We had never given them a white shirt. They all loved them, so we're very proud to give them that. And then the next one is John F. Kennedy. They had 74 students, right there, 74 students, and it's a beautiful picture in their intro that they have in the middle, and they're all excited to be there. So, and then, Joe, you go to the next one. I'm trying to hurry because I know that we have some presentation, but the next one there is RCR Rental Rodriguez, and they presented the opportunity to see Rental Rodriguez and back. And we had a lot of students there. We had 96 students. And then the next one that we have is LBJ, and they had 112 students, and you can see all our colleagues sitting there. So we get to see them, Dr. Benavides. We can't see their faces that well, but you know, when you go, they have those pictures and the parents can see it, and then each campus posts them in their website, and we'll post them in our district website as well. And then David Ibarra is our next campus, and you can see they're getting bigger students. This is they're more mature, and you know, this is Ibarra, and they had 63 students. And then we have Luan, our next Luan, and they had 12 students. As we get higher grades, our kids will we have to find a way to motivate them to come more. We had 12 students, and then finally the high school. But needless to say, the kids there were, they had 6 students, but wow, this church is nice and everything. So, come next semester, you're going to get another color. What color do you want? And even in high school, they liked them, and they said, Miss, we want gold, black, but we don't want that yellow, we want the gold, not yellow. So I told them, you got it, that's what we get it. So that's the presentation for tonight, and I think that the thing is that we want to work together because there's so many, as you heard, there's so many great things going on in our district, and when the students are not in school, then we lose all this. And that's our presentation for tonight. Was the agenda? May I go to the next one now?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Now, this is exciting because we're very proud to say that, and before I start with our amazing council officers here, we had our first court here in February the 7th, and Tangoma was here. It was very exciting to have it here. It's taken us, and I'll just give you a little bit of history, I won't take that long, a year and a half to really get proficient in what it is because it's legal. And we want to make sure that we do everything right. So, the first semester we did a lot of visiting the court, knowing what it's like, and so that we could be efficient. And there was a while that we thought we were going to have to go all the way, but the judge said we wanted to come here. So we had that court last week, and on the 7th here, and they said right there. And the next one, Joe, this is the presiding judge, Jaime Jerry Munoz, and assistant coordinator, Myra Vasquez. And so he's a justice of precinct 2, phase 2, Hidalgo. So he was smiling, and let me tell you, he could be nice, but he can get rough with the parents. And I think some of the principals and some of the people that were here really, and he is at the high school level, we brought the high school students. And now next court that we have, we're bringing the junior high because he talks to the kids and he wants them to be aware of why education is so important. You know, you're failing, you're failing. All your friends are going to go to the next grade and what's going to happen to you. So, you know, you really took time to talk to them. The next slide that we have, and just to, you know, I know that I've shared this with you, but this is important because Education Code 25.08 mandate, it says, requires school districts to employ truancy prevention measures once a student has 3 unexcused absences within a 4-week period. This rule applies if the unexcused absences occur for the full day or part of the day. So this is a requirement, and like the judge said, this is not, and if we don't do what we're supposed to do in the district, in the schools, in the courts, then we can get in trouble. So he started with that. And then the other slide that we have, and this is the state law regarding truancy. Children are required to attend school regularly from ages 6 to 18 in the state of Texas. They're required. Parents have a legal responsibility to ensure their children attend school. Parents can receive a citation for contributing to non-attendance. Parents must report to court and attend a hearing related to the case. And if convicted, parents can be ordered to pay a fine up to $500 for their child's unexcused absence. And let me tell you, if it's 2 parents, the 2 parents have to come and they both get charged. And we had some parents that were very surprised when we had it. And again, once again, I want to thank because it was an effort of the principals, the PhDs, the truancy officers, everybody working on stuff. It's a massive undertaking, but I tell them everything that the word legal has to mean that whatever we bring to the is the correct data. So I'll just tell you a little, we had the first, like evaluation, and I'll just give you a little rundown of what happened. You see the campus, and then the number of cases that were brought in by each campus, and then failure to appear, because if they don't come, they get fined, an additional fine. And then the number of that were fined, and only the ones that only provided services. So like at the high school, out of 23 cases that were heard, 0 failed to appear, and 5 were, out of all those 5 received, they were fined. And in this court, it's 598, if you can see, 598 per parent. And one of the parents said, what am I looking at? I said, I'm sorry, sir. This is your child's education. But he listens, and I'll tell you in a minute how it goes real quickly, and then $200 to be filled up here. But if it's only like intervention, it means that it's not that severe, but we're required to give them a list, and in a minute I'll share that real quickly. But you can see all the campuses now. JRG does not have any, because it said, if you remember, it's 6 and out, but we still put it there as part of our campus. But as you can see, a lot of zeros, but some have more. And you'll be surprised, one parent had about 5 students, right? 5 students, and they were all fined. And because she's failing to send those students at different campuses. Okay? Now, if I can just tell you for a minute, we have a form that, now how does the judge know the kids and all that? I'll just take a minute to explain. We have a form that we provide. It's the hardest part is getting all the data, because there's a lot of information that goes to each kid. And we have to protect ourselves because some of the parents can want us to affect, but we have all the documentation as to what they've done. So when we take them, we give them the grades that the students are doing, the attendance that they're doing, the discipline, anything that's important to that student. So when the judge, and I said right there where you are, Mr. White, was right there. And he has to know the history. Because if I see here that you have missed 368, and I'm going to tell you, she was shocked at what was happening. 368 classes at the high school that you have. Can you tell me what's happening? Oh, you're failing math. What are you doing? So he puts the student, he gives them the responsibility, okay? And one father will say, well, now this treatment, I think it's important for you to know. And well, I drop him up in the school, and I leave him there, and my wife just comes to pick him up. I bring him to school. So, sir, you're responsible for your child. Teachers cannot go leave their classroom to go to your son or your daughter. And he said, sir, and he was kind of arguing, and he said, sir, do I have to put in the citation that you will have to come and walk your son to class? So that's how he is. So, and Cindy and I, you were here when he said that. We're over here talking, and then he can hear the other side when somebody's sick or that he says, okay, this time I'm not going to charge you. But next time, and he said, I'm going to be coming next month, and it doesn't matter. I have your record. If you're again absent, then we're going to fine. But he gives them an opportunity. There's a form that the truancy officer fills, and then also in there that once they give us, after the case, he'll give us a form, I guess, at some point, private, but he'll give us the orders of what's going to happen with that. Every case that he hears, he gives everybody the order, and we have to take it. And in here, we have to provide a list of the interventions. So you see the interventions that we have to do. We have to provide the interventions. Like they have, if they are they're transfer students and they are missing, the judge told us we can return them back to their district where they're supposed to be. If the students need family counseling, that we have a new program. Again, there's just so many, like tutoring. The parents have to come to at least 2 parent meetings, and that's what we have. So he gives this order, and if they don't do it, then guess what? They'll be in trouble. So that's what we have, and then I just want to tell you that the next court hearing that we'll be having, you're cordially invited to come. It's going to be February the 28th from 9:30 to 11:30. And I'll tell you what's organized because we have, where we bring everybody, very, you have to have it like a court. So the parents are waiting out there. Mr. Hinojosa will bring the parents and we invite the parents, we invite those so that they can come and learn about it. And we have to be very quiet, we don't talk to them, so, it was very, to me, it was very exciting. I don't know if anybody wants to share anything, but we just want to thank your support because this is an endeavor. I hope that you all help us. We got it, and let me tell you, the person, we meet every twice a week, we see what we're doing, and it's a lot of work because it requires, like, that everybody at the campus is knowing that the principals, the teachers making phone calls, the counselors getting the list of the students, anybody, special ed, any program that they're supposed to. So once we refer a kid that's being missed, everybody should have already done. And the thing that I'll finish with this. Right after we had truancy court, guess what? Phone calls started to come in. Phone calls started to come in, and now we're getting phone calls in Madrid, and I get all those calls, and I have to say, man, I gotta tell you, but I'm barely making it. I have 5 kids. They don't want to get up. They don't want to get dressed. What am I to do? I have to go to work. So I said, man, that is your responsibility. We're here to help you. We have a lot of homework. Just reach out and let us know. Any other comments?
Ms. Rocha, did they start doing home visits?
Yes, in the home visits, they're right here.
Ms. Rios, did you start the high school?
No, ma'am, I've not been able to start to do a home visit with the caseload that I have at the campus, but I was referred to Mr. Medical to ask for assistance for home visits.
He will be helping in terms of the home visits because he has a lot of cases there.
High school had a crazy amount of, it was ridiculous to see. And the work that Ms. Rios put in, I mean, all of them, but the work that Ms. Rios put in was outstanding. We had parents here blaming her that we're not getting phone calls. And I think Ms. Garcia, she's not here, she saw me mumble. What do you mean they're not calling? She got up and she ran from one side to the other side to correct me and to point out to me that they have it on log, every single phone call that they make. The problem that we're having or that they're having is that the information is not correct. They do not have the correct address, they do not have the phone numbers, and all of this has to be corrected during registration. It is not being done. Well, my comadre said that I don't need it, that I'll do it later on. That needs to stop. Everything needs to be corrected because that lady right there worked her behind off. And for people to blame her that she was not doing her work was wrong. And Ms. Garcia, I mean, and I don't know the other lady's name. Ms. Vallejo, no? Vasquez. Ms. Vasquez also is like, no ma'am, we have everything is there. And Ms. Tanguma, I know she had a problem with a parent also telling her that the attendance does not want to help, that they take the excuses, that they do not put them in, I don't know, input them or whatever. All of that needs to be taken care of before they get it. I was with Ms. Tanguma and she was literally getting scolded like a little girl. And she's trying to explain to the parent that it is not her job to input that. It is the attendance clerk. So we do need to speak to our attendance clerks to do that also. I haven't talked to anybody at the junior high, didn't want to call the junior high, I mean not the junior high, the elementary level because it's not much of a problem, but these two ladies, they need help. And I know that some of them said that the counselors hadn't turned in paperwork. They turned in everything, they have everything, it's just getting them the help that they need. And it's our job to try to get them the help. I know I spoke to Ms. Barco today and tried to steal hours away, and I was like, no. But the PFEs, they help a lot also. They need to, those 2 hours that they're there, they need to focus on helping them because that's their job. Not answering the phones or anything like that. For the schools and everything, that's what our secretaries are for. That's what the rest of the staff is for. These ladies and gentlemen work very, very hard. And I think Ms. Barco or Ms. Vela is great to give them the 2 hours
but they do need to help them with the attendance, with the truancy, making those phone calls. That is very, very important. That was the one thing that we were not able to present to the judge, was the phone calls. But I already know that they told me that they had them, and they did have them, because Jessica made sure to run over to tell me. So I know that they did have them. It's just bringing that information with us for when the parent says, no, look, this is the phone number on file that you gave. So if anybody's wrong, give me your phone number right now and let's change it. I mean, I just want to commend you all. You all did an outstanding job, Ms. Gill, Ms. Rios, Ms. Tanguma, and Mr. Alvarado. You all were great. Like, you don't understand that the parents were like literally trying to blame these people for not doing their job, and they did their job.
One thing that I do want to add is one of the information we did add that the parents have to update their
They did.
That's one of them, because they have a hard time when they go, they can't find the house, they can, so every parent has to update their parents' order so we can do the right.
And I'm just worried about the ladies going to do home visits, because, yeah, it's kind of scary to have the females. I mean, if you're gonna go as a team, the two men, that would have to be happening, because I know that one of the dads was real upset here, and I got kind of scared. And I don't scare very easy.
About to say.
Yeah, like I was like, and I think that was one of Ms. Rios's, and she didn't back down, let me tell you. Ms. Rios did not back down at all. She stood her ground, and I mean, I think y'all just did great. And for the first time, Ms. Ramos was here. Oh, Ms. Ramos too. She was here and she did the exact same thing. I mean, it's just crazy that parents did not want to take blame for it. I leave you here, I leave the kids here, and the teacher has to, and the judge did say, this is not a babysitting club. He did tell them, this is not somewhere where they're going to babysit your kids. It's their responsibility. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Ms. Rocha.
And we need to get them principals, we need to get them the help. PFEs need to start helping them and stop doing, and I've been to several schools where I see them and they're answering the phones, they're decorating. That's not their job. Their job is to help them. And Ms. Bella.
All the points made are well taken. Thank you so much, Mrs. Rocha.
Mrs. Rocha, I had a question. I have a couple of questions. What, were any parents fined at this past truancy court?
On the list for taking fines, we get several that were fined.
Several were fined? Who is the fine paid to?
To the court, and then.
To the court?
Yes. And the 200 is for the people working on that. How do I get to that?
How do they make, let's just say, payment arrangements for parents that are maybe indigent and not available to pay that fine? Who makes the arrangements?
They get the other, like their driver's license is suspended and things like that. But I'll get you that information.
Okay.
On that, because this is the first time we do it. I don't want to give you any wrong information, but I'll get it for you. And once again, it's next on the next Friday. You're welcome. Even if you just come 5 minutes, so you can be, okay?
At 9 o'clock?
Monday?
At 9 o'clock?
At 9:30.
9:30.
And he's very punctual. 9:30.
Yes.
So then, that's okay.
Yeah, I got it dirty.
But we're gonna be having them ongoing, but I'll get you the information you can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next item on the agenda is Ed Cauchelsa Early College High School presentation. I know this is required that we do this presentation every year, so we have Mary Garza, Associate Principal at Ed Cauchelsa High School, who's going to highlight our numbers and our procedures for our early college.
Except for having technical.
Can you all see the
Yes.
screen on yours?
Yes.
Okay, I thought I was going to have to reschedule my presentation, but it looks like it's working.
Joe, do you have a copy?
Good evening, Dr. Benavides, Mr. Ibarra, Board President, members of the board. My name is Mary Garza. I'm the Associate Principal at the high school, and I oversee the Early College High School program and the dual enrollment program there at the high school. So, like Dr. Benavides mentioned, one of the requirements for our Early College program is that I come before you at least once a year to provide an overview of the program and just talk to you about all the great things that our students, our teachers are doing. And so that's what I'll be doing this evening. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask so that I will do my best to answer those for you. Okay, so the goal of the Early College High School program is to make college possible for all students. Our students have the opportunity to earn college credit. They have the opportunity to also earn an associate's degree, which is up to 60 college credit hours while they're students at the high school. And this is all at no cost to the student or the families. This is something that you, the school board, has provided for our community. We're really proud of that. And yes, our students have this opportunity. Not every school district offers. But we're very fortunate, our students are very blessed to have this here in our district. Components of early college. Students are able to earn, like I said, 60 college credit hours by the end of their 12th grade year. Students must first pass the TSI College Readiness Exam before they can take college classes. Also, our students, they can start taking college classes as early as 9th grade, the spring semester. So we're super excited because our first, our 9th graders, right after the Christmas break, we had 65 freshmen that started with their first college class right after the Christmas break. Students take advanced courses such as pre-AP, AP, honors, and dual courses. Also, when the students become college students, when our high school students begin taking college classes at STC, STC is our partner. When they begin taking those courses, they have access to all the resources that STC has to offer the students, which are computer labs, tutoring, virtual tutoring, in-person tutoring, all of that good stuff, along with all the resources that we have to support our students here at the high school. The Early College High School has to apply every year. We fill out an application. I work on that application every year. And they want to know what's going on here at Edcauchelsa Early College High School. I submit documentation. I also have to update our website because they also review the website. And that's where we put evidence of what we're doing with our students. So every year we apply for designation. In order for us to get that designation or receive the designation every year, we have to meet outcome-based measures. And so those are benchmarks or targets that we have to comply with and meet. And so we're really excited because this year, not only did we receive designation, but we also received 3 distinctions. Okay, so how did we receive those distinctions? Usually you have to meet the benchmark, and then when you go above and beyond what they're asking of the early college, then that's when we receive those distinctions. So they look at access. Are we servicing the population that we're supposed to be servicing? So early college high school is our target population. First of all, is our at-risk population. So if we have 60% at-risk students or 70% at-risk students at the high school, then that needs to match between 50 to 60, 70% of at-risk students. And so we are at about 65% at-risk students right now in our early college enrollment. Attainment, they look at how many college classes our students are taking. And so they say, or they're asking us, are these students taking at least 3 college courses by the time they're juniors? And so those type of benchmarks is what we have to submit. as far as evidence, achievement. How are these students scoring on their STAR EOCs? Are they passing those EOCs? Also, are they passing that TSI college readiness exam that we talked about? They need to pass that in order to start taking college classes. So we're really excited about this because we did earn those distinctions this year. Program highlights. Everything that we do at the early college high school is aligned to the CCMR standards. And I know you've heard that a lot as board members. You've gone through trainings where they talk a lot about CCMR standards. So we work with the students to make sure that they're passing that TSI exam, taking dual classes, earning their associates. When they take up to 20 college classes, they earn that associates. They take AP classes. Our goal is that they pass those AP tests. So all of those are aligned to CCMR standards. Associate graduates. In the last 6 years, we've tripled our numbers. We've started with 8 students, 16 students, and so every year, and I'll show you that data in just a few minutes, we have increased our numbers, and we're doubling our numbers. And this year, we are projecting up to 54 students to graduate with their associates. Right now we have well, in the fall of 2024, which is up to December, we had 240 students taking college classes. Right now, this spring semester, we have 275. Remember, we have all of these students enrolled in college classes. They may not all earn their associates and get those 60 hours, but they're definitely graduating with college credit. All of our 9th grade students, when they come in as freshmen, they are required to take a college pathway class. In that class, we have Ms. Brenda Cardenas, who provides college readiness skills, prepares them for those dual classes, how to take notes, how to manage their time, and so how to send emails, how to communicate via email to professors. So all of that takes place during their 9th grade year to prepare them for their first college class. And here again, I mentioned 65 9th grade students who started their first college class in January, just last month. We are a TSI testing site, so we test weekly here at our high school. Our district also provides for these students textbooks, access codes, tuition at no cost. We offer our students, if they're having trouble in their college classes and they're taking a math class and they need help, our teachers at the high school, they also tutor. And again, we have TSI camps, Saturday Academy, and summer bridge camps available. We have our college readiness, or our Go Center specialist, who works with our students. We have one at the North Campus, Ms. Laura Olivares, and then we have our Go Center specialist at the South Building, which is Lizette Gonzalez. And so they meet with the students on a weekly basis. They are the ones that help us get those kids registered. Students that need help with financial aid, applications for college, that's what they're there to do for our students. We meet with the early college counselors, myself, our Go Center specialists. We meet with these students every 6 weeks, every week. They have questions. We receive a Starfish report, which is a progress report from STC. And on that report, they let us know if the students are not turning in assignments, they're at risk of failing, or they're at risk of earning a D, or they need to go to tutoring. And so we bring those students in, we meet with them, we contact the parents, because remember, they become college students, so the parents don't have access to those grades. So we contact the parents when we have the students on that Starfish report to also keep the parents informed as to how the students are doing in their college classes. Let me stop for a little bit. Does anyone have questions so far? I know it's a lot of information.
This is for STC?
Yes, STC is our IHE partner. So the students that take college classes, we have professors from STC that come to our campus. We have designated a hallway for our professors. They're assigned to different classrooms, so the students will go to a high school class, maybe second period, third period, they go to the college class, and then they continue fourth period, a high school class, and so on. And so the professors come to the high school.
Can these hours that they obtain, can they be transferred to UTRGB? Or they all make sure that they can be transferred because sometimes they can't?
Yes, our students take core classes. which are transferable in any university in the state of Texas, and in some cases outside of the state. So yes, those courses. And then one of the things that our Go Center specialists do is they have the students look at the transferability catalog that looks at, this is the course I'm taking, will it transfer to this particular college? And so they do provide that for the students, yes. And so it's a lot of tracking the students, making sure that they're going to class. Sometimes we have the professor, he'll stop by and say, Ms. Garza, I have 15 students and I only had 10 show up. And so right away we get the counselor and myself and we're looking for the kids and we're like, where were you? Where are you? Get to class, let's go. And so it's a lot of that, just making sure that the kids get to class and are turning in those assignments, and we're just a lot of monitoring the students, that they stay on track. And so, yes, that's what we are able to do. Now, in order to be accepted into the college, the early college program, we meet with our 8th graders every year. And so this year, early January, as soon as we got back from the Christmas break, we went to Truan, and we met with all of our 8th graders. And so we met with them, we talked to them about what the early college expectation is to be a college student. We took students with us to talk to the students about how they manage college classes and high school and extracurricular. And so we took our early college ambassadors to talk to the students so they could hear from them. They all received an application to be part of the early college. Then I held 2 parent meetings where we had a full house, parents that wanted to get more information on the program, and really set the expectation and let them know that we are looking for that student that really wants to start taking college classes while they're in high school. And then they turn in the application at that time. Applications have been submitted. We have a lot of applications right now. As a matter of fact, tomorrow we're scheduled to go out there to meet with the students in a smaller group and talk to them about what their goals are. Do you want to go to college? Or did you just submit the application because mom wants you there, right? We want to get to know the student a little bit better. And then we will be notifying the students when they get accepted into the program. We hope to do that right after spring break. And then we have a summer bridge camp in the summer for 2 weeks where we do TSI prep. And then they take that TSI for the first time in the summer. If they don't pass in the summer, we do give them a review packet so that when they come back in August, we will test them again for the TSI.
Who chooses the students?
So we have a committee at the campus, the Go Center specialist, the counselor, myself, and 2 teachers that we bring in, and we look at, we've created like a rubric, and the first, remember the target population are our at-risk students. So we accept our at-risk students, and then any other applications that come in, we bring those students in. We try to bring in about 135 students. The more students we bring in, the more expensive it gets when they start taking those college classes. And then the number of teachers that I have there at the building. Okay. So this is the number of students that have earned associate's degrees through the years. You see that in 2020-21 we were doing really amazing. Our numbers were increasing. But then in 2022 we start seeing the effects of what COVID did, right? Because in 2020 when we went into COVID and quarantine and all, our students just went online all 100%. So it was no professor, it was just on their own. And so, you know, our students, they get gaps in their learning, and some of them just get discouraged. And so we're picking up those numbers again. Last year we graduated 41, and like I said, we're on track to graduate 54. These are just the students that have continued and taken their 20 college classes. We're in the 2nd semester. Those 54 students, we're tracking them very closely to make sure they stay on track so that they earn their associate's degree. So they'll graduate at Bert Ogden Arena, a huge graduation ceremony. Hope you can join us. And then they also participate in our high school graduation. And so the 54 students that are scheduled to graduate with their associates are here. 9 of them are getting a specialized medical science academy. They're in the academy, so they're getting a medical science associate's degree. 2 are getting a criminal justice, 2 business, and 4 engineering. And all the others are interdisciplinary studies. And so I went ahead and included this year for Nano, but he's not here. Because I know he always has, questions about funding and did we budget for this program. And so you all can tell him that I did include it in the PowerPoint. So in fall 2024, like I said, we had 240 students. We didn't have any freshmen enrolled because they don't start till the spring semester. We had 65 10th graders, 93 juniors, and 82 seniors. Our tuition was $92,826 divided by 240 is what Ms. Nahab told me to do the math, right? And then that's the cost per pupil, or per pupil cost. And then in spring 2025, which is now, we have 275. And so I know Dr. B right away reviewed the PowerPoint and said, why is it that we're paying less per pupil cost in the spring than the fall? And so that is because, remember, we pick up 65 freshmen, so we have more students enrolled. They charge us by professor, not by student. Okay. And these are the funding sources. And if you have other questions, then you can ask Ms. Nahab. Okay, enrollment over time. So this is just the number of students that are enrolled throughout the years. You notice that in the summer we have fewer students because it's a smaller, we have very few professors that come over in the summer, but we do continue with classes in the summer. And then the 97%, the 100%, the 95% is the passing rate. Remember that we do not have access to their grades. The students are on their own pretty much, and we ask that their parents, when we meet with parents, like, check the grades, make sure you have them open up their Blackboard and let's look at their grade, because the only information we receive is that starfish report, or if the professor stops by and lets us know. So we're really on the students to continue turning in assignments, and those 54 kids that are expected to graduate this year, we told them, we met with them already and several times, and we're like, the ball's on your court. You continue, don't get senioritis, continue doing your assignments, make sure that you follow through with all those homework assignments, and of course we're projecting that 100% are going to pass all their college classes. These are just some pictures I wanted to include. Every time we're getting ready to head out to Bert Ogden Arena for their graduation, we take their pictures in our mural that we have there on campus. These are freshmen getting ready to start their first college class. They take an orientation trip to STC. This is one of our students here in the center, Cristal. She graduated with her associates and also earned her cosmetology certification. So we have those students that are very disciplined, they're very driven, and so they will earn an associate's and are able to manage their time and also get that certification. So remember, the goal at the high school is that we graduate them college, career, military readiness, so ready. And so here are some students. Here they're taking the oath at the bottom right, where they go to STC and they pledge to follow all the guidelines, the requirements that STC asks of them. This is Marisol here. We have STC advisors that come and visit with the kids, and they also meet with them, make sure they stay on track. This was this year with our freshmen that went to STC on a trip. They received shirts. This is some of our professors in college classes there at the campus. And so this was in 2018. I always include this in my PowerPoints, just so that you can see the gradual increase as our numbers have been doubling and tripling. We continue to work with our students and just making this possible. And thank you to you for your support. To our principal, Mr. Valdez, who's always been very supportive. Ms. Tijerina is very familiar with the program, and she's always supportive, of course, our dean, and of course our counselors and our Go Sitter specialists. So thank you, board, for this opportunity.
Thank you, Mary.
Yes. Does anybody have any questions?
Just curious, how often does the Starfish report come out?
The Starfish report comes out twice a semester. So the first report we get is just attendance. It's the 10th class day, and these students haven't been to class, and so we go find out, oh, they dropped it, or they were going to the wrong section or something. And then we get 2 more Starfish report. We're already in the 20th maybe college class day, and we are expecting 1 to come in this coming week. So it's twice a semester.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Our last item on the superintendent's report is the intruder detection audit report. Just a statement, the top priority of EdCal Tulsa and the state of Texas is keeping students and staff safe every day. The Texas School Safety Center recently conducted an intruder detection audit at 1 or more of our campuses. The audits test whether a campus is accessible to an unauthorized individual. This audit, conducted as part of the state of Texas school safety directives for all school systems, following the tragedy in Uvalde, seeks to help districts identify how campuses can improve safety for students. The audit provides us with an opportunity to create a safe learning environment for our students and staff. We're working closely with our district's school safety and security committee to ensure that we're training all our staff and securing our doors for the protection of everyone at our campuses. The support from the state in conducting the intruder detection audits is just one of many actions we are taking to ensure our schools are safe. We know that this work does not end, and we appreciate the board's support. We acknowledge that parents and community members are very interested in the details of audit results. However, it is in the best interest of the students that we do not share the information to the broader public, as it could lead to compromising important campus security information. Specific details of the intruder detection audit will be discussed in executive session and with the Safety and Security Committee. EdCal Tulsa ISD is committed to providing a safe and secure learning environment for all our students and staff. Mr. President, this concludes the superintendent's report.
Next item on the agenda are consent agenda items. If there are no questions, issues,
I did have a question, Mr. Ibarra, in particular, B4 on consent agenda.
B4, ratification of Region 1 Education Services Center Project PACE Educator Preparation Agreement with EdCal Tulsa.
Yes.
Dr. B.
This is a program, the deadline was February the 6th, and so I had to sign that agreement so that we would give an opportunity to our paraprofessionals that have degrees. We want to give them an opportunity to join their program, and it's called the PACE program. But in order for them to include us, I had to submit it by February the 6th. So that's why it's in a ratification form.
My question was in reference to the district covering some of the cost of that, because Region 1 pays for some of it and then the district pays the other, and it's for certification, right, for math and science?
Yes.
So my question was, is there a way to get maybe, or maybe it's already in place, commitment from these individuals who are seeking certification to stay with the district for a little bit?
Definitely,
Okay,
definitely.
good.
My recommendation is going to be that they stay at least 3 years with the district.
Right.
And that our legal counsel outline some type of commitment form. And I've done this in the past. And Region 1 is getting a grant where they'll pay half of it and the district pays the other half. But definitely, it has to be with a commitment to stay at EdCal Tulsa ISD.
Good, thank you.
If there are no other questions, I'll entertain a motion for consent agenda.
I motion.
It's a motion made by Ms. Tanguma.
I second.
With a second by Dr. Ochoa. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda are discussion and action items. Approval of resolution adopting a commitment to implement TASB staffing review recommendations. Dr. B.
This one is just, we're not always going to be able to follow the TASB recommendations, but it's committing to follow them as closely as possible. That if TASB is saying you need to look at this area because you're overstaffed, that we commit and that we not hire. And we've already started that process by instituting a hiring freeze, especially for those areas where the TASB report told us that we were over.
Need a motion?
I motion.
There's a motion made by Ms. Tanguma,
Second.
second by Dr. Ochoa. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. All those against, motion carries. Next item is discuss and approve the targeted improvement plan for JFK Elementary, Santiago Garcia Elementary, PFC David Ibarra Fine Arts Academy, and Ed Cachosa High School Academy.
And I'm sure they're being very nervous, waiting and waiting and waiting for this. This is also a requirement that the board approve the targeted improvement plans. And there is one campus that already exited, and that was the Ed Cachosa High School Academy. But because they're part of the grant, they still have to present their campus. What we would like for them, if you'd move to the next slide, what we would like for each campus to do is to highlight their strategies that they're going to be doing at each of their campuses. For example, Santiago Garcia is in the second year. Last year, they did show progress, so if they continue to show progress, they'll be able to exit. John F. Kennedy is also in the second year comprehensive, but they did show progress last year. David Ibarra is the second year comprehensive, also showing progress. So we're hoping that they're on the road to exit out of targeted improvement. And Ed Cachosa Academy already exited, but is required to present because they're part of the grant. Next slide. The target improvement plan requirements. The requirements that we have to share with you is identify the curriculum, make sure that we've had a public stakeholder meeting, which the principals have had, identify the TEA approved strategy that they're using to turn their campuses around, and then of course tonight seek school board approval.
This has nothing to do with it won't affect our plans for possible consolidation of campuses?
It will if we decide, and that's something that TEA will require for us to notify them so that they can give us, grant us that permission. Like for example, Ibarra, we would have to follow a process and notify Texas Education Agency. So all elementary campuses are using Amplify. You all are aware of that. It's a new curriculum. This is our second year with Amplify. Eureka, this is our third year. Correct me if I'm wrong. David Ibarra is using Amplify for Reading Language Arts and Carnegie for Math. And Ed Cachosa uses, the Academy uses Odell and Carnegie for Math. This is the curriculum, and that's one of the requirements that we share with you. The Ed Cachosa High School Academy had their parent meeting on February the 17th, and we are also part of the Texas Instructional Leadership. Mr. Sarda, I don't want to do the presentation for you, but anything that you need to highlight, or you can continue from here.
Do I need to present, or you were going to go over it? Don't worry, the presentation is less than 4 minutes.
Brief. Okay, thank you.
So, good evening. I will begin my presentation by briefly describing what the Academy is. The Academy is a small high school servicing 96 students at risk of not graduating. Our students have had attendance and disciplinary issues in the past, and some have social, emotional issues that they are dealing with. Some of our students have disengaged from school for a very long time. However, that's not what defines our students. Our students, it is their perseverance and determination to graduate despite all obstacles that defines our students. As you know, the Academy is well on its way to being out of designation of school with comprehensive support. Under the guidance of Region 1, we calculated that the school was going to be a very strong B, actually an 88.3. But unfortunately, because of state legislation, we cannot present that rating. But yeah, it would have been a very strong B. So how did we go from an F to almost an A in less than 2 years? We did so by following the effective school framework and using the TIL coaching and feedback cycle. I won't present on the TIL because Ms. Olivares has already done so. And I will focus on other strategies that we've been using at the Academy. Next slide, please. So we use the effective school framework. The effective school framework at its core has effective instruction, a rounded positive school culture, high-quality instructional materials, and strategic staffing. I do want to thank the board and Dr. Benavides for providing us, for adding to our positive school culture by letting us use the Mercado building. Our students now have a beautiful building, and our teachers really appreciate the facilities. We now have all the staff we need is fully staffed, and we have all 4 teachers servicing our students with all 4 core subjects. Slide 3, the next one. So we're also big believers in professional learning communities. Not one person has the answer, so we continue to meet and learn from each other. In that picture, you see Mr. Tanguma presenting on positive behavior intervention and supports, and that's one of the things that we do at the Academy. Next slide, please. So I think this is the number 1 issue for the district, and it's so for the Academy. As you know, attendance is essential to the delivery of instruction. Effective teaching and high-quality instruction materials are ineffective if the student is not in the classroom. To improve attendance, we continue to work on positive professional relationship with our students, but they are students and they need to be incentivized. So there in the pictures, you see our students who have very good attendance enjoying a Whataburger meal provided by the district. 3 additional strategies. Well, yeah, and I'm enjoying one myself. 3 additional strategies next slide, please. Strategic scheduling. Our teachers are really working hard. They service the Academy, the College and Career Center, and they take time to support the high school in sports, basketball and football. They're also scheduled there, and they still take time to go service the DAEP across the street for direct instruction to those students. For our students, we remove all barriers. We are very flexible, not only with dress code. We do enforce it, but we are flexible, and we are flexible with their schedules. We want to accommodate for our students who are employed or even have kids of their own. We're excited about the new childcare facility. I think that will also improve our attendance. Next slide. But at the end of the day, it's about student outcomes. 16 students have graduated this year already, even ahead of time. And we expect 50 more by the end of the school year.
And all these kids kind of are going to do the walk and make?
They are invited.
Awesome.
We like to take pictures, and we will be having a small party for them March 4th. All of you are invited, because unfortunately some of them, they just take off. They go to work. They go out of state. But they're all invited to the ceremony. We expect 50 more by the end of the school year. Because of our high graduation rate, STAR results, and positive learning environment, we are confident that our students at school will continue to be successful, and we do look forward to next year's academic rate. That is it.
Good evening. My name is Mayra Padilla, and I am the principal at JFK. And so today I'm going to be talking about our targeted improvement plan strategy for our campus. This year, what we're focusing on is our TIL, also known as the Texas Instructional Leadership. And so through TIL, what it is that we do provide a lot of feedback and a complete coaching cycle to our teachers, so that at the end of the day, we are improving high quality instruction in the classrooms. Some of the areas that our campus has been focusing on is doing walkthroughs with a focus on instruction, also using high quality instructional materials. You did hear about the Amplify Eureka that we're implementing with Fidelity. We are also having data talks after the assessments with the teachers, not only at the beginning of the year, middle of the year, end of the year, but also after their unit assessments. This goes for 3rd through 5th grade teachers. We are incorporating STAR test taking strategies as well as increasing rigor of the questioning. One of the things that we started noticing is that it's extremely important for the teachers to ask questions at the higher order level, because that's the way it is in the START test. We're also planning dates so that we can have Saturday academies. Those are actually coming up in March and in April. We also have an increased home and school connection 2 times per month. Our PFEs do invite parents over so that they can get more acquainted with the campus and with the procedures that we have in place. We are also getting a lot of assistance from Region 1. Currently, we are involved in the Texas Strategic Leadership, the Texas Instructional Leadership, and the FLIPS trainings that we have been going through. The FLIPS stands for Foundational Leadership Instructional Practices and Systems that we have in place. We are utilizing our teacher assistants with students that are performing below grade level. They are just targeting those one-to-one skills, especially our students that are still having a difficulty with the reading as well. We are implementing tutoring 2 times per week. We're also looking closely at the accommodations of our special education students, because at the end of the day, they do have to show that growth as well, making sure that those accommodations are appropriate for each of them as well. And the last point here is that we are building teachers that are focused, intentional, and results-oriented. By the way, JFK has the best teachers in the district.
Nice.
Just so you know. Thank you. Any questions on these?
I had a question, ma'am.
Yes.
The tutoring is provided by whom?
It's actually, right now, all of our 3rd through 5th grade teachers are staying for the tutoring. They're the ones that actually tutor. And for our students that are really, really below grade level, as far as still in the phonics, because believe it or not, we do have some 3rd graders that still can't read, unfortunately, based on their special needs and things like that. So with them, we have our 2nd grade teachers focusing on on just pure phonics skills, letter names and sounds, or putting sounds together, sight words, and etc. So
thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tabitha Trevino, and I'm the proud principal of Santiago Garcia Elementary. So much like Ms. Padilla, our strategy that we're using this year is TIL, the Texas Instructional Leadership, which provides a lot of coaching and feedback to teachers to develop their skills in the classroom. Some more strategies that we're using to improve student outcomes is our walkthroughs are focusing on building teacher capacity, improving their pedagogy, improving the way they deliver their lessons. Again, that ties back to TIL. Our formative assessment and goal setting with teachers occurs much like Ms. Padilla. After every major assessment, we do have one-to-one meetings with our teachers to go over the data as far as their classroom, to see who is improving, who needs more maybe tutoring or more interventions. So those conversations are happening one-to-one with teachers. And then we do the goal setting with the teachers and with the students as well. Our POCs are focused on uniform instructional decisions, so our teachers come together to make sure that we are on the same page and that we're making decisions based off the needs of the grade level. We are strengthening our home to school connections. We do have an increase of parental connections this year through having more of the parent-teacher conferences. Our teachers do have to do at minimum of 5 parent calls a week, and I said I want 5 positive calls. I'm we don't always focus on their growth, but we also need to focus on their on the positive, on the little gains that they're making too. So that is another thing that we are adding this year. We do have after-school tutoring twice per week, and that started in the fall and is continuing through the rest of the year. Our TAs do provide additional in-class support. They pull a small group of students and they focus on targeting skills that still need to be developed, as well as using win time to provide targeted support for individual students. And our win time again focuses on developing those skills that need to be developed. Okay. Questions?
Thank you.
Good job.
Laura didn't even have no paperwork or nothing. She read.
I'm just going to speak, and hopefully I'll be able to answer everything if you all have any questions. But I'm Ms. Sanchez, I'm the principal at David Ibarra, and good evening to the members of the board, Dr. Benavides. Here at David Ibarra, we did have a parent meeting on November the 19th, 2024. That was with the superintendent's roundtable, and then we also had one on February the 13th, 2025. Our tip strategies, just like my colleague said, is teaching the TIL, coaching and feedback cycle. Most of what we're learning there is having to do with how to better improve our craft as leaders to provide the feedback for our teachers when we do our coaching. Because we cannot assume that our teachers are knowing exactly what we provide the feedback that they say, let's say, if I say classroom management, and they might say, okay, what does she mean by this? So I have to be very specific, bite-sized, that they're able to do 1, 2, and 3 steps. So it's very specific the way we give it. So because we need to be better in providing that feedback so our teachers can improve because they're a reflection of us. Also, we have our strong foundations that's also partnered with instruction partners. And what we're doing there is the PLC framework that's looking at the conceptual teaching, the why behind the concept. And instead of the procedural is more of the steps, how to get and it's focused on the math. I guess I didn't say this before, but because we have gone down in our campus 3 years in a row with our math, my focus is specifically on math right now because every year has gone down, and gone down. So with our strong foundations, it's specifically with our math teachers. We do also do it with our reading, but it's more of the trainings that do consist of it with instruction partners is training our math teachers during their PLC. They've done some coaching with them on that and then coaching with me with just kind of looking at the lesson internalization, the conceptual teaching, and the RVs, which is research-based instructional strategies, so be able to make sure that we're getting more growth from our students and providing the teaching and learning. Strategic support for our students, we have a unique group of teachers that can help us because Ms. Cerda, I lost her from our reading classroom. She was servicing about 70 students. So we lost her to our dyslexia classroom. So she went from 70 to about 18 students. So we had to be very strategic of how we're gonna place her. We moved her schedule around so she can have some opportunity to co-teach in my regular reading classes. So she goes to support my reading teachers plus work with my students. Because Ms. Cerda is very well versed, she has a special education background. She teaches dyslexia. She's taught reading and she's taught writing. So she is able to do miracles in my English language arts classroom and provide those opportunities for those other teachers, and she goes in there to provide those services. Ms. Castañeda, she's also servicing my classrooms. She goes into the co-teach, and she has background in 2nd, 4th, 5th, and is now teaching 6th. Because she is able to provide the services where she knows, like, hey, they're struggling with their reading, they're struggling with their fluency, they're struggling with their comprehension. She knows where to fill in those gaps. So she works with our teachers in that, and she works with the students. Also, our TAs are providing support in the classroom. They're strategically placed where either the migrants, the 504s, my special ed, or my RTI students are at. So they're filling in those gaps. They're working with my kids. Science teacher support. Right now we do have our science teachers doing the 15-minute warm-ups for math. So every day they work for 15 minutes, the first part of their block, their period, to work with math support. My social studies is providing also revising and editing because we do see that they are struggling with the writing. So the 15-minute warm-up, our social studies teachers are doing that. So our students are getting that support from our teachers, plus they're also getting different modalities of instruction because it's different teachers teaching it a different way. Our math interventionist, this year we have been blessed to have Blanca Silva come in. She has been hired to work with our students within the block. And what I mean within the block is that because we have a 90-minute period with our math teachers, the first 45 minutes is direct instruction from teachers. So they deliver the first 45 minutes and then they work with the 15 minutes with the software program, plus then they're released to do the independent practice within their groups, within their peers. So when the students are released to go to do it on their own or with the peer or the group, and the teacher kind of facilitates, becomes a facilitator of the classroom, our students that are already identified through our data, they go to Ms. Silva. So Ms. Silva pulls those students, works with them in a small group, teaches them, and Ms. Eva has taught 4th, 5th, 6th grade, and she was a dyslexia teacher too. So not only has our math assessment changed, because now it's a reading assessment, how is it that she can help provide the support that this is what is it asking? How can we understand this? So it's teaching with the math plus teaching with the reading, and she's got that dyslexia background. Sandra Gaza PD sessions. This is the first year that we've implemented, that we've supplemented our Carnegie with a different way of teaching it. So what Sandra Garza is doing is supplementing our Carnegie, which is our HQIM. She's following the same scope and sequence, but doing it through the STAR formatted. Because Carnegie is more conceptual, not the procedural. She's still teaching, following the scope and sequence of the Carnegie, but doing it through the STAR formatted way. Our Ignite program, this is our second year with Ignite. We started half year last year, or this is full year this year. Ignite program provides for a live tutorial support, so live tutors do go in and work with our students. We had 115 5th grade students that did not pass math last year, so we have 115 students that need a lot of support. Our teachers can only provide certain support during our WIN period or tutorial period. So what they do, they go into my labs with my TAs, but they're working with the tutor, a live tutor, either 1-to-1 or 1-to-2. So the Ignite program is run by Teach America, and our students are actually working with a tutor that provides that feedback. They get to see how they're working it out. They get to intervene. They get to discuss. They get to show them different ways of working that out. Also, our after-school content teacher tutorial, we have two times that they work on, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Our reading teachers are providing the tutorial, and it has to do with the reading, the writing, and the poetry. So our students are getting the reading support through, based on their data, who they're bringing in. And it's going to change now that we took our benchmark. Today, we finished our benchmark, and then next week we'll be changing the students based on the data. We also have the ACE after-school tutorial extension, where we're doing the math and the reading, and that's either providing it through our science teachers, our TAs, or our ISL software. Do we have any questions?
Very good.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
All this sounds great, but do you have any proof that there's growth? I mean, we're 3 months to the end of the year, and I haven't heard anything about, well, we tested and it seems like we gained 20% improvement since we did it in November. It all sounds great, but I just was wondering if there's an improvement.
Yes, good question. Because let's say if I depended strictly on my HQIM, which is my Carnegie, I would be assessing only based on units. So the unit assessment happens, let's say every 5 weeks, every 4 weeks. What we're doing in between, we're having checkpoint exams. So our teachers do have those checkpoint exams, so we look at the data and we have seen those gains. So we are going to be comparing that benchmark for the first that we took in fall to the benchmark in spring, but we have seen a lot of the gains where the students are improving, especially in my special ed and 504 population.
Ms. Sanchez, I had a question also on the after-school tutoring.
Yes,
Is that for all the students or only for the students that have been identified to be?
It's for the students that have been identified, plus anybody that wants to participate. We have had parents that come in or have called and said, can my students stay, are they allowed to? And they are allowed to, and if they don't have transportation, ACE has been so grateful to say they stay for the hour with our regular content teacher. If they're not an ACE student, they're still able to stay for the extra hour, and the bus will take them home.
Perfect.
Very good.
Thank you so much to all the principals. I know that you're working hard and we sincerely appreciate it, but especially to these 4 principals that had to present their targeted improvement plans. Thank you for a job well done.
Thank you.
If there are no more questions, I need a motion to approve the targeted improvement plans.
I motion.
There's a motion by Dr. Ochoa.
I second.
Seconded by Ms. Vasquez. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against, motion carries. Next item is discussion and approval of superintendent's authority to approve revisions and/or additions to the SB 1882 application as recommended by the Texas Education Agency.
I would like to provide a little more specifics in executive session, but it's just that if there's anything that's needed, that we don't wait until the March 12th board meeting to have it approved. Hopefully they're minor revisions, but it was recommended by Region 1 and TEA that we outline an item like this so that we don't delay the process.
Need a motion?
I motion.
There's a motion by Dr. Ochoa.
Second.
Second by Ms. Vasquez. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Let me see. Executive session. We will now convene in executive session pursuant to the Texas Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551, and Texas Government Code. The board will meet in closed session under the following provisions: 551-074 and 551-071. The time is 8:28. Word executive. At this time, we'll proceed with any, I'm sorry, let me see.
He jumped again.
I'm sorry.
The time is 9:32 and we're in open.
On item A, I'll recommend that we approve items as presented, new hires and resignations as discussed.
Need a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Ooh, a motion made by Ms. Vasquez, second by Dr. Ochoa. All those in favor, say by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against, motion carries. Anything for legal?
On item B, I don't know if there's any update with legal counsel?
No update on behalf of legal.
That's it, no?
That's it.
Right, need a motion for adjournment?
I motion.
What? There's a motion by Dr. Ochoa, seconded by Ms. Vasquez. All in favor, say by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against, motion carries. Meeting is adjourned. Everybody be safe.